Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another short, most likely, video or episode of Travel Without a Cause. Good to see you guys again. Hope you haven't thought I abandoned you, but just want to give you a quick update and let you know I'm still here. And stay tuned for lots and lots of videos to be coming along very soon here. Just wanted to give you an update. You know, things are still busy with my photo booth business on the side. The time change. It gets dark at like noon, it feels like these days. So if I do vlogs after work, it's going to have to be things either indoors or lit up, which is, you know, kind of a good thing if I want to do something with like Christmas lights or something like that. Who knows? But anyway, just wanted to let you know that I do have some vlogs coming your way, and we have let's see here. There's still like I said, the photo booth business, my side business, is still very busy, and it's only going to be like that for another month and a half, say about another month and a half or so, and then things will start to kind of get back to normal, and then you can start expecting me to post the usual, like, you know, 2 videos a week. And so hope you haven't given up on me yet, and I hope you are looking forward to more vlogs as much as I am, and all that. And so again, if there's any suggestions you guys have, any topics, places, graveyards, famous streets, famous whatever, this and that, whether it's local or not so local to me here in Lafayette, and I would be glad to do them. Sorry, I'm trying to drive and do this at the same time. But yeah, that's really about it. Just wanted to, you know, say hi to you guys, let you see my face, hear my voice, and let you know that, you know, it's about once a week I'll be posting things right now. This past week, been busy. This weekend's been nonstop. And so it's Sunday night right now, and I'm kind of just thinking if there would be anything for me to vlog, but really with such short notice, I hate giving you guys, like, you know, I don't want to give you guys a low quality video where it's like, oh, this is that and whatever, and then you guys are just like, okay, that was pointless. You know, I don't want to do those, but I did want to put together just a quick hello here, so so you know that I'm still here. Not going anywhere anytime soon. I love doing this stuff, so it's only going to get better and better as the channel grows and grows, and I'm excited that you guys get to experience that with me and through me. And so interesting topic, something for you guys to think of. I was doing something on YouTube earlier, I don't remember, and I saw a random video on there that was titled, and it's a pretty cool watch if you guys want to go watch it. It was titled How Ghosts Killed the Queen Mary, as in like the Queen Mary ocean liner that's docked in Long Beach, California, which I've been to back in 2007, I believe. Went to a car show there when I was in the Marine Corps and stationed out west. Went to a car show there, and the Queen Mary was docked right where the car show was, and I love that kind of stuff. Like, I grew up fascinated with the Titanic stuff. Like, when I was in 3rd grade, I ordered a book from like a book order, like Highlights or Scholastic or whatever it was, like whatever you could order books from back in the late 80s. And I ordered a book. It was like a little small book, just a brief history of the Titanic, and I don't think I knew much about it. I might have known, I don't remember, because I was in 3rd grade. I was like 8 years old. But I might have known about it before, just from hearsay, and, you know, Titanic's always out there, and like, there's always news about it. It's always on the forefront, you know, I guess you could say, of being in the public eye and stuff. So I might have heard something, I might have known something about it. I might not have, I don't remember. I might have just saw a book that had to do with the ship that sunk, and they found it, and I might have just been fascinated with that. I don't remember why I got that book, but as soon as I got it, I was just excited, and I read it probably instant, like, you know, like within a few minutes, because it wasn't a very thick book. It's just like a kid's book, you know, but it's all about the Titanic. And so I've always been fascinated in the Titanic. And when I was a kid, like, not, you know, over the next few years, I would rent movies. It's so weird, because I was like an 8, 9, you know, 10, 11, 12-year-old kid who would rent movies from the VHS movies from the video store that had to do with Titanic. And there's some good ones out there. And I'm sure that's weird for you guys to be like, well, a 12-year-old kid is fascinated in the Titanic when he was 12 years old. But I was. And so anyway, just, I don't know, I've always had a fascination in ocean liners and stuff like that. But anyway, that's kind of here or there. But so anyway, course, the movie that came out with like Leo and all that stuff, I never, ironically, never really got into that movie because I've never been interested in over Hollywooded out versions of things, of true things, because they always, for the most part, they always kind of seem to bastardize it and take away from the true. You know, they romanticize the wrong things, or they over romanticize certain things and all that. And I just never liked that. You know, like, to me, it's like, keep it straightforward, keep the facts, stay with the facts, you know, just keep it at that. And so, which they kind of did, but, you know, over the romanticizing and the Hollywooding of it all, it's like, I don't know. But it was a good movie. I've seen it. I mean, it's not like I haven't seen it, but anyway. So for whatever reason, most likely because I saw the movie recently, it popped up on one of the streaming services that I have, and I watched it, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, whatever, you know, watched it again, and then for whatever reason, of course, you know how the internet is these days and social media and all that stuff, videos about the Titanic started popping up on my YouTube feed, probably because I watched the movie or something. I don't know. And the weird thing is I didn't even watch it on my laptop. I watched it on the TV, but it's all connected through Google or something, whatever it is. So anyway, so this video I saw today. Anyway, so I watched a few videos on Titanic on YouTube that were just interesting. There's tons and tons of videos on it and stuff, and all these aspects and what ifs and all this stuff, and people studying it and everything. It's cool. So anyway, so my point is, and this is where it comes full circle to what I'm talking about and what it has to do and how it relates to my channel, and how the video that I watched today is called "How Ghosts Killed the Queen Mary," as in like ghosts, like dead people, ghosts, spooky ghosts. And it talks about how, you know, the Queen Mary was like the next line of predominant ocean liners after the Titanic class, White Star Line and all that stuff, you know, the Olympic, and then the Titanic and the Carpathia, all that stuff, like all those that era of ocean liner ships were decommissioned, and some were scrapped and, you know, used for whatever. And so the Queen Mary is what kind of the next wave of that, and the Queen Mary was launched or christened and started her voyages in 1935. Nose itches all of a sudden. And so you know, it was I think they said she sailed like 3 million miles total or something like that, and she was decommissioned in like the 60s, late 60s, and turned into a hotel, not a resort, but like a high-end hotel. What am I trying to say? You know, like luxury hotel, basically. You can go stay there. And over the next like 15, 20 years, or for 2 decades, so like for 20 years, it was a big hit. Like, it was just, you know, or I say the first few years, it was a big hit. And they kept the rooms booked. They almost couldn't keep up because it was so busy. People wanted to see the inside of it, because people really general public couldn't just go and see the inside of it and stay there like that. So the first couple of years was a big hit. And then all of a sudden, after those first, you know, few years, 2-3 years or whatever, it started to just become kind of like, okay, you know, everybody who been there, done that kind of thing, everybody saw it. And so it kind of went to more of like a stale, not a stale, but, you know, kind of like, it's like, okay, people, like anything new, like when something's brand new, it's a big hit, and then after that, it gets to the point where people are kind of like, okay, well, this is either going to be a staple here, or it's going to just be, you know, kind of like it's going to run its course kind of thing. And so it started to kind of run its course, but it was still open, and still, you know, kept people in it and all that stuff, you know, as a hotel and all that stuff. So a lot of owners went through it, and then eventually at one point, I didn't study this video, I just watched it once, so, you know, you can go and watch it and get more of the details. But eventually Disney took over. I want to say around the mid to late 80s, maybe 90s, I don't remember. But anyway, my point is, at one point it got taken over by Disney, and it was suffering with keeping people in and keeping it booked and all that stuff. And so, like a lot of places, they get desperate, you know, they try to figure out what can we do to get people in here and get, you know, keep money coming in and keeping this thing afloat. And, you know, because the more guests they have, the more money they get, the more money they have. Fire truck. And so the more money they have, I'm like distracted. I'm like a dog, I get distracted by things like that. So keeping a ship up, an old, a 70-year-old, whatever, how old it was at the time, 50, 60-year-old ocean liner with 3 million miles on its odometer, of, keeping it afloat and keeping the maintenance up and stuff like that. And so over the years, they talk about, many times where new ownership would take over and they'd see how bad a shape certain aspects of the ship were, and how even like the engine compartments and stuff like that were in danger of flooding, like major things like that. So around the time Disney took over, you started hearing things about the Queen Mary being haunted. And so the way the videos delivered that I watched today is not biased really one way or another, but you kind of hear about, you kind of get the point of view from the storyteller from the video, the vlogger, whatever you want to call it, that it's almost like a gimmick just to get people in the door. Because it went from, the Queen Mary, the way it's read, the video is, it kind of gives you the idea like, okay, well, nobody ever talked about the Queen Mary being haunted. And of course they might have before, and it might be true stories of people dying in there or whatever the case may be, that would lead to it being haunted. But you didn't hear about it as a gimmick, as a like, hey, come see the Queen Mary, and basically turned into like a ghost hunter's paradise, and was even labeled as like one of the top 10 most haunted places or whatever like that. And until Disney took over, and by no means am I slighting Disney. I'm not saying Disney is the one who did all this and did anything wrong, but it made me think about things like that in places that I will be vlogging, places that I will be covering and talking about. That might, of course, I'm not a ghost hunter. I'm not usually going to approach a place based off of things like that. I'm not going to approach a place as a ghost hunter. I'm not interested in doing all that. But just because it has to do with the type of video, YouTube channel that I have, where I'm visiting famous places and historic places like that, and it made me think like maybe. Well, anyway, so backing up a few seconds, once they started promoting it as such with the Queen Mary, with it being quote unquote haunted or whatever, and all these ghost hunting shows and stuff like that, and it became a ghost hunter's paradise over there, basically. Sales went up and the popularity went back up, and then so people were paying to see it, paying to stay there, I guess, if it was still open as a hotel, which I'm assuming it was. And so it got me thinking, like, how many places like that, or in general, use that as a crutch or as a gimmick to get people in the door. And how many of these places that we've heard about over the years, many places, famous places around the world, that are supposedly like, quote unquote, the most haunted this or this in this area or this country, and it might just be a thing to get tourists, which the way I'm saying it now is almost like an unthought of idea before. I mean, everybody thinks about this, so we've always thought about this, like, oh, that place probably isn't too haunted. It's probably just because it's a gimmick kind of thing. So of course, it's not like I just had an epiphany today. I mean, I've thought about things like that, and I've been to places before where it's like, it's probably not too haunted. People just say that to get exposure, to get rooms booked and all that, And so there's even a place here in town that I was going to, and maybe might still vlog. I'm not gonna say the name of it because I don't want to spoil it and get people up in a whatever, rile people up and all that stuff. But it's the significance of it is not just the fact that it's supposedly haunted. It's an old historic place here in town that's a bed and breakfast and all that stuff, but it's supposedly haunted. So when I contacted the owner to possibly do a vlog on the place, my approach was not to be like a ghost hunter. I have no desire to go and conjure up ghosts. I got, I don't want to not be able to sleep at night because I'm, conjuring up the dead and all that funny stuff. And so anyway, even the owner said, like, yeah, you're more than welcome. She's like, but if you're one of the ghost hunter things or whatever, like, it's really not that, it's not a thing. It's not really haunted. And I'm like, oh, really? Because I grew up my whole life hearing that it was, and there's a story and there's a folklore behind it and all that. And so, that person was like, yeah, no, it's not at all. And we keep getting me people that are like trying to ghost hunt and all that stuff. I'm like, well, look, man, I'm not approaching it that way at all. I have no desire to come and do weird ghost hunting things at your bed and breakfast. I just wanted to vlog it for the nostalgia of the place and the significance of it and all that. And I would include the story in it, and the story includes what have drawn up over the years, and the folklore is built up to, you know, so the history of the place also, what am I trying to say, has a lot to do also with the haunted or possibly haunted aspect of it all. And so, yeah, so it, you know, and it's for years and years, I'm sure people have stayed there, and it drew people in, it brings people in, and it's revenue, and it's not even supposedly really haunted. And that's according to somebody who's been there for years and years and years. And so, who knows? But anyway, it got me thinking. That Queen Mary thing got me thinking, and looking forward to lots of places that I will be vlogging in the future, in Louisiana, outside Louisiana, and more as I travel more and more abroad and further out and further out. There's another, that was a fire marshal right there. Wonder what's going on. But anyway, so it just got me thinking. And, you know, like I said, moving and looking forward at many places I'll be vlogging in the future, it'll kind of always be in the back of my mind now. Kind of like, well, you know, this place is known for being haunted, or this place is known for this and that, and it'll get me thinking a lot of the time, like, what if this place is, if the significance of this place is really, you know, fill in the blank, if it's really like, oh, because of this and that, or is that more just a gimmick thing? Is that more just like, oh, they just say that to bring people in, not only just ghost stories, but something else, you know? Anyway, I wish I could be at the Queen Mary telling you guys all about this, and that would be super awesome. And I think it's closed right now. Again, they closed it a couple times over the years, over time, just because of being in disrepair or not bringing in the revenue or whatever. So I believe right now, without doing any research on this before this video, I think it's actually closed down right now. So even if I was in Long Beach, I wouldn't be able to go in there. At least I don't think I would. But most definitely in the future, which I will be going to California because I have family in California. And actually, I'm hoping to go to my cousin Nikki's wedding. Hey, Nikki, how you doing? In March. And I'm really hoping to make that happen. And if I do that, you can count on you can count on a bunch of vlogs out there for sure. I'm not going to have enough time to do all the ones I'd want to do. Absolutely not. But that might be a cool one to do if I'm in the area. And so if it's even open. But anyway, that was not the purpose of this vlog, was to go over all that. It was just kind of like my thoughts in real time. But I just wanted to kind of just, you know, spend some time with you guys. I'm driving around. I wanted to go do something outside and just kind of walk around at a nice park or downtown or something, because even though it's early and I'm kind of in between, I'm on the fence line with, you know, how I feel about starting Christmas before Thanksgiving and all that. But it seems this year, man, on, you know, marketing and TV and people in general, it seems like, man, they're starting early. They've been starting, like, as of like 2 weeks ago, people were putting up Christmas lights and decorations and all that. I'm like, man, it's getting earlier and earlier. Before you know it, like, as soon as summer's over, people are going to be like, oh, it's Christmas time. Christmas and Halloween mixed in together. But anyway, so I thought about doing something outside, but it's too cold right now outside. I don't do too well with that frosty cold like that. So I was like, nope, I'm going to stay in my truck and drive around. And I was actually running some errands. So I was in the downtown area. I just didn't feel like walking around outside in the cold in the evening when the sun's going down. So that's about, I figured I'd stay in my truck and talk to you guys. But that topic kind of stuck with me after I saw that video. It was very interesting. And so this is something for maybe you guys to, when I do a vlog on a certain place, like an old house or something like that, an old hotel, you know, you guys can maybe remember this conversation we're having here about this and say, hey, like, you know, about this, like, oh, it's just rumored that whatever this, and it'd be maybe a conversation to have on those future vlogs for those future locations. And I just thought it was interesting. But for the most part, I just wanted to, you know, spend some time talking to you guys, and so you can hear my voice and see my face. You can't really see my face right now because I don't have any lights on and it's getting dark out. But yeah. So you guys have a great weekend. I do have some vlogs coming, like actual, you know, location vlogs coming up. And once in a while, I'll do like day in the life kind of videos like this, just talking to you real quick. Talking about what's on my mind and stuff like that and all that. And so that's, you know, that's, like I said, trying to build a relationship with you guys through these videos over time. And so that's what I enjoy doing. But anyway, I'll let you guys get back to your Sunday evenings or Monday mornings. I'll probably post this for Monday morning, most likely. So let me turn some lights on here so I can send you off with some kind of illumination. This is better. But anyway, yeah. So go ahead and sign off here. Have a great week. Any locations, topics, anything, keep them coming. Send them to me. I love the ones that like you guys have sent so far, and some of those are on the way, and I have to do some research on a couple of those. But anyway, give me ideas. I'm all about ideas. And let me not hit this car right here. And that's about it. So talk to you soon. Like, subscribe, send to your friends, make them like and subscribe, and then watch all the videos over and over and over and over till you get sick of it. Like when my little sister used to watch Cinderella over and 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 over again when I was a kid, the Disney cartoon. I think maybe I could probably still memorize that cartoon, and I was like 35 years ago. And all my mom would say is, hey, you're the big brother, just, you got to deal with it. And so now I have 2 kids, and my kids are 4 years apart. When my daughter, who's 6, is fussing about what the 2-year-old, my 2-year-old son is doing, I'd say the same thing. I'm like, you know what? Baby girl, he's 2 years old, so you just got to just deal with it. And that's just part of being a big sister. And so, went off on that tangent, didn't I? But anyway, so yeah, hope you like the videos. I'll keep them coming, and looking forward to making a whole lot more. And just bear with me through this busy season with my side business. And then probably as soon as December's over or close to over, I'll start getting those 2 per week again and start getting, you know, start rolling more videos through. But just bear with me. Probably next year and subsequent years, I will be front loading a lot of videos like during the summer and all that stuff. So when the busy season comes like this time of year, I'll just plan it and you know, and schedule them to be released a couple times a week still. So you guys aren't having to you know, miss or see less videos. Sorry, my gimbal's all over the place right now. But yeah, so anyway, I hope you're enjoying your winter time. Don't start Christmas too early. Thanksgiving isn't for another 4 days, but that would be good, some good vlogs coming up for sure. Some Christmas light vlogs and stuff like that. Maybe some Christmas trees, you know, lightings and stuff, like Christmas tree lightings and all that downtown and all that stuff, you know, events like that. So I'm looking forward to this holiday season and all that stuff. You know, I love this time of year, and so I hope you guys do too. And cheers, stay warm, and I'll see you on the next one. And good night. Bye, folks.